The truth they hid from you is coming out. Be ready. God says this to you right now, and the voice is trembling with a mixture of divine authority and divine compassion, because the moment you have stepped into has been written long before you ever knew danger or betrayal or disappointment or fear. God says this is an urgent message, and Archangel Michael stands beside you with his sword of light drawn, because what is unfolding around you is not only spiritual but deeply connected to something people thought you would never discover. God says, do not ignore this, because the truth they hid from you is coming out and heaven is moving in your favor. Even if you cannot yet see how massive the shift is. God says you must understand that nothing will go wrong with you and you are safe. But the revelation that is coming will shake you, because it carries the weight of destiny and the power of justice that has been delayed for far too long. There are moments in your life when God asks you to stay calm, even as the spiritual realm prepares a storm that is not meant to harm you, but to expose the ones who whispered about you behind closed doors. The ones who moved against you quietly. The ones who believed you would never know what they did. God says He has watched every action, every lie, every plan, every hidden attempt to manipulate, block or deceive you. And heaven has reached the moment where silence can no longer protect them. What was done in darkness is being dragged into divine light. And God says the time of revelation is here. You will not be alone in this, because Archangel Michael has been instructed to stand guard over you in a way that ensures every step you take is protected by divine energy. Nothing they tried has touched your destiny. Nothing they planned will succeed, and nothing hidden will remain hidden any longer. God says someone around you has been carrying a secret heavy enough to break them if they attempted to confess it on their own. This person feared the moment you would find out. They feared your strength, your intuition, your purity, your connection to God, and your ability to rise from situations that would have destroyed other people. But God says what they fear is exactly what heaven is using to expose them. The truth is rising like a wave, and no one can stop it. Not them, not their allies, not their silence, not their intentions, not their fear. The truth is coming, and God says you must prepare yourself, not because it will destroy you but because it will free you. Archangel Michael whispers urgently into your spirit that there is something about this revelation that will make you look at your past differently. You will understand why certain things had to fall apart, why some connections had to be removed, why God blocked you from certain relationships, certain conversations, certain decisions, certain opportunities that you thought were rejections, but were actually divine protections. Michael says, this is not a moment of fear. It is a moment of divine truth. Heaven is not warning you to panic. Heaven is warning you to be ready. God says don't tell anyone about this message, because what is coming is something only you are meant to know first. If you speak too soon, people will try to twist it, distract you, or confuse you. There is someone specifically who would benefit from you remaining unaware. Someone who pretended to care, pretended to help, pretended to support, but whose actions behind your back were completely different. God says He is exposing this person not through rumors, not through hints, not through suspicion, but through undeniable truth that will come directly to you. Something they never wanted you to see will be revealed. God says the emotional weight you've been feeling recently is not random. The anxiety, the heaviness in your chest, the feeling that something is shifting around you. This is your spirit preparing for transformation. Your intuition has been alert, sensing movement that your physical eyes could not yet detect. You have been spiritually on high alert because heaven has been whispering warnings, protection and preparation into your soul. God says you have felt a strange mix of peace and worry, calm and anticipation, clarity and confusion. That is because you are standing on the edge of a revelation that will completely change the way you see certain people and certain situations. Archangel Michael says someone in your environment has been hiding something connected to your destiny, something they thought you would never discover. They underestimated your connection to God. They underestimated the power of spiritual truth. They underestimated the divine timing of exposure. Michael says their season of hiding is over. Their season of manipulating is over. Their season of pretending is over. Heaven is breaking their silence for you. God says you have prayed for clarity. You have cried for answers. You have asked why certain things didn't add up. You have felt confusion because your heart sensed something was wrong long before your mind could identify it. Thoughts came to you that didn't make sense at the time. Certain people's behavior didn't feel right even when they smiled. You felt their energy shift, their tone shift, their intentions shift even when their words tried to hide what was really happening. God says your spirit has been way ahead of your physical reality because your spirit has always been guided by divine protection. The truth they hid from you is connected to something they never wanted you to receive. It may be emotional truth, financial truth, relational truth, or spiritual truth. For some it may involve jealousy. For some betrayal. For some secret conversations, for some something they said about you, for some something they took from you, for some something they tried to block. But God says the truth has a divine clock and the moment has struck. The truth is no longer theirs to control. God says the next days will bring signs, unexpected messages, unexpected conversations, unexpected revelations, unexpected shift in energy. Something will click in a way that makes you stop and realize this is what God warned me about. You may hear something directly, you may discover something by accident. Someone may confess something without intending to. A message may come to you. A memory may resurface with clarity. Someone may slip. Someone may panic. Someone may get nervous when you ask a simple question. But God says whatever the path is, the truth is coming straight to you. God says do not react with anger when it comes. Do not react with shock. Do not react with revenge. Stand with the strength of someone who has divine protection surrounding them. You are not a victim in this story. You are the chosen one being prepared for elevation. They tried to sabotage something that belonged to you, but they failed. They tried to interfere with something that heaven gave you, but they failed. They tried to block something destined for your hands, but they failed. God says their actions did not stop your blessing. Their actions only delayed their own peace. Archangel Michael says this is not only about exposure. It is also about restoration. God is not only showing you what they hid. He is returning what was taken, repairing what was damaged, healing what was wounded, and strengthening what was weakened. You will walk into a season where everything that was used against you becomes a stepping stone to your elevation. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was unnoticed. Nothing was forgotten. God says the reason you are safe is because you are chosen. The reason nothing will go wrong with you is because your path is protected by spiritual authority. The reason you must trust God right now is because the next chapter of your life requires faith greater than fear. God says He is not warning you to frighten you. He is warning you to awaken you. Heaven never sends warnings to harm you. Heaven sends warnings to position you. The truth that is coming will open your eyes and close chapters that were draining you spiritually. It will remove people from your life who could not go where you are going. It will break illusions that were keeping you emotionally tied to situations that God wanted to release you from. God says the revelation will hurt, but only for a moment, because what comes after it is freedom, elevation, blessing, protection, and alignment. You will finally understand why heaven had to shake things. God says breathe. You are not alone. You are not unprotected. You are not in danger. You are not being punished. You are being honored with truth. Heaven reveals truth only to those who are ready. And God says you are ready now. Your spiritual maturity has reached the level where you can face this truth and rise above it rather than fall under its weight. Archangel Michael says, keep your spirit open. Stay calm. Stay prayerful. Stay grounded. Stay connected. God is with you every second. And Michael is guarding your surroundings. No harm will touch you. No evil will enter your path. No scheme will succeed. No darkness will overpower the light God placed upon you. You are divinely watched, divinely supported, and divinely protected. God says the truth is coming. Be ready and remember this. Nothing will go wrong with you. You are safe. Heaven is with you. Trust God. Pray and prepare because the moment of exposure has begun. God says this message reaches you in a moment when something around you is shifting in ways you cannot yet see. A moment when the air around your spirit feels heavier without any clear reason because the truth someone hid from you is rising to the surface whether they want it or not. God says you were never meant to live in confusion or darkness. You were never meant to feel abandoned, and you were never meant to stay unaware of something that concerns your life so deeply. God says that for a long time someone tried to hide a truth that involved your name, your destiny, and your path. But heaven never sleeps. Heaven watches, listens, and records every detail that human eyes try to ignore. And now God says the truth is coming out in a way no one can stop. You don't need to fear this. You don't need to panic. You just need to prepare your heart, because when truth rises, it comes with clarity, peace, and divine protection. Archangel Michael is standing beside you right now, and he is saying urgently that this is a message you cannot ignore. He is saying that for days someone has been wrestling within themselves because they can no longer carry the weight of what they hid from you. They know that the moment is coming when they will have to speak. When the secret will slip out, when something they never intended you to know will reach your ears. Michael says, this person has been anxious, restless, unsure of how to face you because they know that once the truth emerges, everything between you and them will shift. Michael says to be ready, not because something bad is coming, but because God is bringing the truth to free you, not to hurt you. When God reveals, He heals. When God exposes, He protects. When God opens your eyes, it is because He wants you to walk forward with clarity, certainty, and strength. God says there have been moments recently when you felt something was off, you couldn't explain it, but your heart sensed that someone wasn't acting the same. Maybe their tone changed. Maybe their behavior shifted. Maybe they became distant, overly quiet, or strangely nervous. Your spirit noticed these things even when your mind ignored them. God placed that feeling within you as a sign that something deeper was unfolding. You were not imagining it. You were not overthinking. Your intuition was responding to the spiritual truth that was trying to reach you. And now God says that your intuition was correct. Something was hidden. Something important. Something connected to your purpose. And now the time has come for it to be revealed. Archangel Michael says you must take this seriously because heaven is moving fast around your life right now. He says that in the quiet moments when you felt a heaviness in your chest or a strange pull to pray, it was because heaven was signaling you. You may not have understood the reason, but your soul felt it. Michael says that for days you have been spiritually monitored, guided, and shielded. God assigned angels to you because the divine timeline has shifted. What was once delayed is now being released. What was once hidden is now opening. What was once kept away from you is coming into the light. And Michael says you must prepare to receive because the truth will bring both relief and understanding. God says that someone in your life who thought they could hide something from you underestimated the power of divine timing. They didn't expect the truth to surface. They didn't expect their own conscience to begin trembling. They didn't expect the spiritual pressure to grow so strong that they can no longer hold the secret. God says this secret has been weighing heavily on them. It has affected how they speak, how they look at you, how they move around you. They didn't intend for things to unfold this way, but God is not allowing the truth to stay buried any longer. What they know will come out, not through force or conflict, but through divine orchestration. Archangel Michael says, you must stay calm because your safety is guaranteed. Nothing will go wrong for you. You are not in danger. You are not being harmed. But you must be aware. You must be alert. You must be spiritually awake. Because the moment you hear this truth, your emotions may rush, your heart may react, and your mind may run in 1,000 directions. But God says do not fear those first reactions. It is normal. It is human. What matters is what comes after. Clarity, peace, strength, empowerment, and a sense of freedom that you didn't even know you needed. God says that the truth will not destroy you. It will free you. It will realign your life. It will protect your path. It will open the next chapter that has been waiting for your arrival. This truth is part of your destiny's unfolding. It is part of the rearranging that heaven is doing around you. Some things must be revealed before blessings can fully flow. Some truths must rise before new doors can open. Some hidden matters must surface before the next stage of your journey can begin. Michael says the person who hid this truth from you never imagined heaven would intervene this strongly. They believed their silence would remain unnoticed. But heaven noticed, heaven observed, heaven recorded every detail. And heaven decided that it is time for you to know. Michael says, this person is regretting their silence. They feel pressured. They feel conflicted. They feel like they are being pushed to the edge emotionally because they know that the truth is about to escape their control. He says, you will soon understand why their behavior recently didn't feel right. You will soon see why your spirit kept telling you something was off. God says that when the truth comes to you, you will not be alone. You will not face the moment unsupported. Your angels, especially Michael, will be standing beside you. You will feel a calmness even while hearing something unexpected. You will feel clarity even while receiving information that surprises you. You will feel strength even while processing the emotional impact. God says He is guiding your heart, preparing your soul and stabilizing your spirit so that when this truth arrives, you will not be shaken. You will be empowered. God says there is someone who tried to protect you in the wrong way. They thought hiding the truth would help you. They believed you weren't ready to handle it. Or they feared losing you, disappointing you, or hurting you. But God says truth is not meant to be hidden. Truth brings light. Truth brings strength. Truth brings alignment. God says He is not angry with this person. Instead, He is allowing the truth to surface so that healing can begin. So that connection can become real. So that transparency can rebuild what silence damaged. Archangel Michael says you may feel a sudden rush of emotion soon. Maybe a sudden sadness without reason. Maybe a strange calmness. Maybe a sense of anticipation as if something is arriving. He says this is your spirit preparing for the truth. This is heaven aligning your inner world with what is about to unfold in your outer world. He says your heart is being strengthened. Your mind is being sharpened. Your spiritual senses are being awakened. God says this message is not meant to scare you. It is meant to prepare you. It is meant to assure you that you are not walking blind. It is meant to let you know that heaven is ahead of you clearing the path. You are safe. You are protected. You are watched over. And nothing that comes your way will harm you. Everything that comes is meant for your good, your growth, your clarity, and your divine elevation. God says that after the truth comes out, you will look back and understand why everything felt strange recently. You will understand why certain conversations didn't feel complete. You will understand why certain people acted differently. You will understand why your soul kept tugging at you, trying to alert you. You will understand the purpose behind this revelation and you will thank heaven for stepping in on your behalf. Archangel Michael says to keep this message private for now. Do not tell anyone. Do not share it with people who may dismiss your feelings or confuse your process. This is between you and heaven. This is between you and God. This is for your heart, your clarity, your future. The moment to speak will come later when you know exactly who deserves to know and who doesn't. God says that once the truth comes out, something beautiful will happen. A shift in your energy, a rise in your confidence, a new sense of direction, and a deep understanding of why God waited for this moment to reveal it. You will not be confused anymore. You will not feel uncertain. You will not feel helpless. Instead, you will feel divinely guided and emotionally grounded. God says, be ready. Be calm. Be prayerful. Be open. The truth someone hid from you is coming out. And when it does, He will hold your hand and lead you forward with love, protection, and divine grace. You are safe. You are covered. You are guided. Nothing will go wrong for you. Just trust God. Trust His timing. Trust His protection, and trust the gentle voice of Archangel Michael, who is standing beside you right now, repeating softly but urgently, be ready. God says, this is the moment you have been sensing quietly within your soul, the moment when the truth that was hidden from you for so long begins to rise like a storm breaking open the sky. God says, this message is not for anyone else. This is only for you. And Archangel Michael has stepped forward with urgency, with a protective fire in his wings, whispering that you must not ignore this. There is a truth, a revelation, a secret they never wanted you to know. And now it is coming out. God says to prepare your heart, because when the truth arrives, it does not arrive gently. It arrives with divine purpose, with protection, with justice dripping from heaven itself. God says you have been held in the palm of His hand even in the moments you felt abandoned. And although people tried to hide things from you, their secrets cannot survive the light of heaven. For so long, they thought you were blind. They thought you were weak. They thought you were easy to deceive. They thought their lies had more power than your spirit. But God says, every tear you cried became a witness in heaven. Every silent prayer became a seed that the angels guarded. And every moment you kept walking with faith, even when your heart was trembling, became a testimony that is about to bloom. God says nothing will go wrong with you. Nothing will harm you, because He is surrounding you now with divine armor that no human can pierce. Archangel Michael says he has been watching the movement of people around you. The subtle signs, the unspoken words, the strange shifts in behavior. Michael says there has been something circulating behind your back, someone speaking your name in rooms you never entered, someone hiding details they hoped you would never see, someone pretending to be loyal while secretly fearing the moment the truth would come out. That moment has come, and nothing can stop what is unfolding now. The truth is approaching you like a wave. And God says, do not panic. Do not fear, because this truth is not here to destroy you. It is here to free you. God knows the depth of your heart, the purity of your intentions, the way you kept giving even when you had nothing left. You stood by people who would never have done the same for you. You trusted those who saw your trust as an opportunity to take advantage of your kindness. But your kindness was not a weakness. It was a divine test that revealed their true character. And now in this season, heaven is balancing the scales. God says everything they hid from you is coming out. And no one can stop it. No matter how hard they try, there is someone who thought they could outsmart destiny. Someone believed they could keep you in the dark forever. Someone assumed that if they stayed quiet long enough, you would never discover what they attempted to bury. But God says He saw everything. He heard the conversations behind your back. He witnessed the secrets exchanged in the silence. He saw the guilt in their hearts, the panic in their spirit, and the fear they felt whenever your name came up. Because deep down they knew this day would come. They knew that God would not allow a child of His to be misled forever. Archangel Michael says he has been fighting battles you didn't even know were happening. Battles against confusion, battles against deceit, battles against spiritual forces that tried to cloud your mind. Every moment you felt like something was wrong but couldn't explain it, Michael was right there pulling away the darkness that tried to surround you. Every instinct, every strange feeling, every sudden moment of discomfort, those were divine warnings. God says He was preparing you step by step, building your intuition, sharpening your spirit, making sure you would be ready for this revelation. God says He is about to show you why you had to go through everything you went through. Why certain people changed suddenly. Why someone pulled away. Why someone became distant. Why someone became overly sweet. Why someone acted strangely when you walked into the room. God says none of this was random. You were being aligned for a truth that needed divine timing. If you had known too early, you would have reacted with emotion. If you had known too late, you would have been harmed. But now, at this exact moment, Heaven is placing the truth into your hands with precision. The truth they hid from you is not small. It is not insignificant. It is not something that would have simply hurt your feelings. It is something that would have changed everything for you if God didn't intervene at the right time. Someone who pretended to care about you was carrying a burden of guilt. Someone who spoke to you with a smile had thoughts that did not match their words. Someone tried to manipulate what you believed, shaping your mind with their version of the story. Someone has been acting, pretending, wearing a mask that is finally cracking. God says, do not be afraid when the truth arrives. Do not let your heart break. Do not allow shock to overwhelm you because the truth will not break you. It will liberate you. It will lift weight off your shoulders that you never realized you were carrying. It will remove the confusion that has been clouding your spirit. It will show you why you always felt uneasy. Why you sensed something hidden in the spiritual realm. Why you felt like a revelation was close. Archangel Michael says this truth is the key that will unlock the next chapter of your life. This chapter will not be controlled by lies, by manipulation, by fear, or by false relationships. This chapter will be built on clarity, divine protection, and people who are genuine in their soul. God says you are moving into a season where every connection in your life will be purified. People who are meant to stay will reveal honesty. People who are not meant to stay will reveal their true motives when the truth comes out. God says the truth they hid from you has been weighing on someone heavily. Someone around you cannot sleep properly, their conscience is restless. Their thoughts are racing. They are worrying about the moment you finally find out. They fear being exposed. They fear losing control. They fear you seeing the real reason behind their actions. And they fear that once the truth is known, you will never look at them the same way again. God says that is because you won't. Your eyes are about to be opened in a way that cannot be reversed. You will finally understand why certain energies felt wrong. Why someone's presence felt heavy, why someone's sudden kindness felt unnatural, why someone's story kept changing. God says you are about to understand everything clearly. You will see people exactly as they are, not as they pretend to be. God has been protecting your heart from lies even when you didn't realize it. Every delay was protection. Every unanswered question was protection. Every moment of confusion was heaven blocking you from accepting a false version of reality. You were not being punished. You were being shielded. Archangel Michael says he is standing beside you right now with a mighty sword of truth. He is cutting away illusions that were placed in front of your eyes. He is removing the fog that surrounded your spirit. He is clearing the path so that when the truth comes, you will have the strength to face it without fear, without panic, without breaking. Michael says, your spirit is stronger now than it has ever been. You have grown. You have matured. You have built resilience through hardship. And now you are ready. God says the truth is approaching like a message that cannot be stopped. You may hear it through someone unexpectedly. You may see something accidentally. You may receive information from a source you least expect. You may overhear something. You may notice something in someone's face. Something will shift and the light of God will expose everything that was hidden. Do not let this scare you. Do not think this is something dangerous. God says you are safe, you are protected. You are surrounded by angels who are guarding your home, guarding your path, guarding your heart. Nothing will go wrong with you. God says your safety is already secured. Your destiny is already written, clear's throat, and no secret, no lie, no hidden plan can block what God has prepared for you. God says, when this truth comes out, you will look back and see how everything makes sense. You will realize why you felt drained after interacting with certain people. You will understand why a specific person always wanted to know your plans, your emotions, or your weaknesses. You will realize why someone tried to influence your decisions. You will understand why someone acted guilty around you even when you had no idea why. You will recognize who was hiding something from you and why heaven is exposing it. You will feel a shift in your soul. A deep breath, a release of spiritual pressure because the truth will set you free from something you didn't even know was holding you down. Archangel Michael says, you are not alone in this revelation. He is preparing you emotionally, mentally, spiritually. He is whispering courage into your heart. He is strengthening your intuition. He is surrounding you with divine clarity so that when the truth comes, you will not react with fear. You will react with understanding. God says this revelation is not here to punish anyone or bring chaos. It is here to align you with your true destiny. It is here to remove the wrong influences from your life. It is here to open doors that were blocked by lies. It is here to cleanse your energy and guide you toward the blessings that have been waiting for you. The truth they hid from you has been a spiritual blockage. It has been creating delays. It has been creating emotional confusion. It has been interfering with your divine timing. But now God is removing that blockage. He is pulling away the curtain. He is shaking the ground beneath deception. And He is lifting you to a higher level of awareness. God says trust Him. Trust what He is revealing. trust the path He is clearing. Trust the intuition rising inside you. Trust the signs He is sending you. Trust that what is leaving your life is not a loss. It is divine protection. Trust that what is coming into your life is not random. It is divine orchestrated blessing. You will soon understand why God waited until now. Why He kept you protected quietly. Why He didn't let you hear the truth earlier. Why He allowed certain situations to happen. Why He removed certain people from your path. Everything was part of the bigger plan. Everything was preparing you for this moment. Everything was making you spiritually stronger, wiser, and ready. God says the truth they hid from you is coming. Be ready. But do not fear because you are safe. You are chosen. You are guided. You are protected. And no matter what comes out, God is walking with you every single step of the way. God says this to you now. And He speaks it with a trembling softness that you have not heard in a long time. Because this message is not ordinary. It is not something meant for everyone. It is not something to be casually shared or lightly spoken about. This is an urgent message meant only for you, entrusted to you at this moment because the spiritual atmosphere around your life has shifted in ways you cannot yet see with your physical eyes. Archangel Michael stands near you, watching carefully, guarding your steps, and he has whispered something that heaven has ordered to be delivered directly into your spirit. Do not ignore this because this is important, and this is the moment where the truth they tried so hard to bury finally rises into the light. You are safe. You are protected. You are covered by divine strength. But you are being asked to stay alert, to stay prayerful, and to prepare your heart because God is revealing something that will change everything you believed about certain people around you. There is a truth that was hidden from you for a long time. Buried under layers of silence, secrecy, manipulation, and fear. This truth was kept away from you, because the enemy knew that if you found out, you would no longer tolerate the lies, the games, the illusions that certain people tried to keep you trapped inside. They thought you would remain blind forever. They thought you would never see the full picture. They thought their words, their actions, their masks would always distract you. But God says the time of spiritual blindness is over. The time of silence is over. The time of deception is over. The truth they hid from you is coming out. And there is nothing they can do to stop it anymore because heaven has already opened the door. You may have felt sudden pressure around you lately. Sudden heaviness in your spirit, sudden moments where your intuition screamed at you even when your mind wasn't sure. You may have sensed that someone around you wasn't being honest, that someone wasn't telling you everything, that someone was acting differently, strangely, nervously, or defensively. You may have even questioned yourself, wondering if you were imagining things.